live and all that. All right, got it. Preparing to live stream the meeting. All right. Well, hello, Sam Keenan.
Hello.
This is Next Level from Level with Emily. I'm the host, Emily Reese, and joined, of course, by producer Sam Keenan. And it's nice to see you, Sam. That's the first thing I said when we hopped on this here Zoom call.
It's nice to see you too.
It's been a few days. I haven't seen you since last week.
We're very blue today.
We are very blue. So are our moods. We have had 2 days of sunshine in the whole month of January. And we've seen the sun, like the sun came out for like, I don't know, it was out for like an hour a couple days ago. And our friend Holly sent me like a text that just said sun with the crying face. And we're like, yes, the sun. And then it went away and we haven't seen it since. So we are very blue in more ways than one here in Minneapolis, Minnesota. But we get together once a week we try to do it every Wednesday at 3. I came this close to getting called into work today, but that someone else saved me at the last moment. So, barring work schedules, we're here Wednesday afternoons at 3:00 Central Time, or as our friend Nikki would say, the Brits invented time. So that would be 9 GMT, 1700. No, that'd be 2100 GMT. But anyway, that's what we try to do every Wednesday. I'm a little loopy, I think, from waking up from a nap, and you just woke up too. It's just like,
yeah,
go us. Yeah.
It's ridiculous. A ridiculous time of year. It's not right. No one should live this far north on the planet. Let's all move back to Africa.
It's tough. It's where everyone should be. Yes, would be nice. Mountains. There's snow, I'm sure. I have no idea what I'm talking about. But what we get together and talk about every week is whatever episode is coming up. And this week, the episode featured is a composer named Jonah Senzel, and his music for like a really well-received indie game that just came out not that long ago called Inscryption, which is like a deck builder, but it's got other puzzly aspects like escape room stuff, and it's creepy too, so some horror aspects to it. But yeah, what'd you think of the conversation that I had with Jonah Senzel?
Well, first of all, I feel like we should catch up with the chat because it's going crazy, and I'll just say hi, Sacha.
Oh, okay. Hi, I'm not watching it. I'm watching it right now. Oh, hi. Hi, Sacha. How are you? We're trying to get better at watching comments because we're just not accustomed to doing that.
Yeah.
And people always stop in and say hi. So we appreciate that.
And we're just getting rolling with this. So it's, not too active yet, but hopefully we're
getting there.
We'll get some more engagement. But no, that this episode coming up this week was really fun. I thought the music was neato. It's a really good example of somebody using sounds and kind of ambient noises and threading them together to make a really cool vibe,
Yes. I thought so too. And, I would say there's about, I don't know, maybe half the tracks are like that or something. There's like, that's one of the interesting things about the soundtrack is there are tracks where that's the case, but then there's like chiptune only tracks, or it's just kind of all over the place in a good way. It's just runs this interesting kind of spectrum of music for this game, but yeah, I love the sound effect stuff. There's a track called The Prospector, The Trapper, and those have noises like that. It's interesting.
Yeah, no, it's lots of soundscape sort of sounds and even the chiptuney stuff is kind of meddled with to give it like extra creepy vibe and stuff like that. But it's I don't know, I appreciated the fact Like I remember him talking about how he likes to play stuff live and then mess with it afterwards instead of kind of building it in MIDI, and that really comes across. Everything feels really alive, and the creepiness of the mood really comes through hardcore,
Yeah,
which I like a lot. I'm seeing in the chat, by the way, that it came out in October 2021.
Oh, perfect. Yeah, I knew it was pretty new. So we've had some really
yeah.
fresh ones. We've got a Forspoken interview coming up that just came out yesterday. So yeah, we've got some. We're on the ball here on Level.
Yeah,
it's not at all what I'm trying to imply, but
right.
It's just happened that way lately. But yeah, Inscryption, and I think it's done really well too. I think people are really into it. And he tells a story about a Twitch streamer. I'll let him tell that story in the interview itself. But yeah, it's a popular little game. But yeah, I loved the vibe, and it is creepy. It's like creepy at times, but also like really beautiful, and yeah, it's all the good stuff.
Yeah. Yep. Moody, creepy, ambient. Yeah, and just sounds really nice, Also there's I noticed in at least a track or two kind of this it's a good move where there's these sounds that are pushed all the way to the top of the volume, so they're like kind of distorting, just getting really and making really evil sounding low rumblings and stuff like that, and that on top of the natural kind of percussion noises that are not usual instruments is just it really set a mood. Like just listening to it, it was like, ooh, like I have to look behind me or whatever.
Yep. Yeah. Speaking of deck builders, of course, you're the one who got me into Clash Royale years ago, and I haven't played Clash in ages. So there's that deck builder that you introduced me to. But there was also a period of time where you're like, you really need to play Hearthstone. Emily, you should play Hearthstone. And then I was like mainlining Hearthstone for several months or something. When's the last, have you played that lately at all?
I drop in on Hearthstone from time to time, but I never play against people. I always play the solo games. And there's a couple of those solo games that have like these kind of chaotic elements where it goes through any and all cards, or you can like spawn random I forget what they're called, but I was going to say minions, but and I like that just because you can kind of see the cards and stuff, but I'm not that into like playing it competitively or anything like that.
You were for a while there. I mean, not like a professional level competitor or anything like that. But I mean, you're good at it though. But like you would play people. You played people all the time back in the day.
I got into it a little bit, but
is it just too hard to keep up with all the new cards that are coming out, or?
Yeah, it's just too much work to keep up with it, and I don't have a very competitive nature. So if I'm gonna play it, I kind of
could not be more true.
Yeah.
You're like the least competitive person I know. It's wonderful.
I don't know, to a fault. I'm in trouble.
Well, yeah. I mean, the opposite can be true to someone who's overly competitive. It's like can be a good thing and a bad thing. But
yeah. So if I'm going to play it, it tends to be zone out time, where I'll just just zone out and play. But is that what this game is like? Is it that kind of a deck building game, or?
Honestly, I don't know. I've watched a little bit of it, but I don't know. I didn't play it. I mean, that's kind of the good thing and the bad thing about that. Like sometimes I don't play the games, right? And this is an example of that. I am working on one right now. I'm hopefully in a couple months going to have on the show a fella named Sander, I think. Who did the music for Deliver Us the Moon. And I've been playing that lately just to see what the music is like in that game. And that game came out, I think, last summer. But he's been very busy with stuff, so he hasn't been able to. We've been trying to set something up for a while now. But I have been playing that, but I did not play Inscryption. So yeah, I don't know exactly what
Sacha asks if I was into Magic, Magic the Gathering, which I think I played it maybe once or twice, but I never got into that really. I was
Okay.
into old like tabletop role playing type games and stuff like that back in the day.
Yeah.
And
Mhm.
I played a little bit of Pokemon too, but never got too into Magic.
Yeah. I never did either. We had a coworker, because of course Sam and I met at NPR, Minnesota Public Radio, and we had a coworker. Did you know I'm sure you knew this about Mark Hintz. It's
Hmm.
like traveled to do like Magic tournaments. He had like
Yeah.
a crew and all that. Yeah. That's the
Yeah.
closest I ever got to it. Just knowing someone who was into it. I never played it. Yeah, I never played it. Yesterday Destiny rolled out their weekly update, and whatever they did broke the game. And so it was offline all day and all night. And I just happened to have like a day yesterday where I could just kind of game a little and whatnot. And so I was like, oh, well, now what am I going to do? And I'm like, well, I can go through some of these. So I played some Deliver Us the Moon. I played some Disco Elysium. I've just kind of dabbled, I played a little Mass Effect. So I wanted to let you know
Yeah.
that I played
Okay.
a little Mass Effect last night. Have you returned at all to the
I
SS
I was
Normandy?
trying to play a bit on like evil mode or renegade
Renegade.
mode
Yeah.
or
Yeah.
whatever, just to see what that was like. And yeah,
Yeah.
the I don't like making those terrible
No,
choices. It really
no.
is actually hard.
It's
I feel
terrible.
bad doing it.
I know. Yeah. No one wants to kill the Rachni Queen. And if you do want to kill the Rachni Queen, you can't be our friends. Like you just
Yeah.
we're not those kinds of people. We're pro
Yeah.
Rachni here. So
Right.
yeah,
Right.
it's tough. It's tough.
Yeah,
I
but
mean,
actually I did re-beat 2 in renegade mode,
oh, you did.
which I
Okay.
managed to keep everyone alive
Wow.
and have a little romance with what's her name?
Go
Liara?
on. Okay, Liara, everyone, of course. Why not? Yeah. That's always my number one choice for sure. Uh oh, oh, well, it doesn't matter. Well, no, what I was going to say is that, with regards to playing in renegade mode, I hate Ashley in the first game, and I hate Caden in the first game. I hate them both. I wish when you could
Mm-hmm.
choose to off them, you could just off them both. Which why do you make me choose between
Yeah,
these two? But I still don't want to be mean to them because they don't
right.
deserve that. You know what I
Right,
mean? They don't deserve
exactly.
that. They've
Right.
done nothing to deserve my ire. Like there's no reason for me to hate them other than I find them annoying. And in
Yeah.
real life, I probably wouldn't. I probably would like them just fine. But like I couldn't even be mean to Ashley, in
It's also
dialogue.
just it's like the ingrained kind of Gene Roddenberry in
Yes.
me too, where it's like, why would you be an asshole to people on the ship?
Right.
These are your colleagues in space. We're all supposed to get along.
Yeah. There's nowhere to run if like why
Yeah.
not just be nice? Yeah. Amazing. Well, is there anything else you want to say about this week's upcoming chat with Jonah or his music?
Just that it's a good one, and it's
Yeah.
really fun to hear. Jonah is I think he talked about how he also does sound design as well as
Yeah.
music, and that comes through loud and clear with the techniques
Yeah.
and the approach to setting a musical vibe. It's really got kind of a combination,
Yeah.
sound effects and music, ambient music thing going on.
Yeah.
Really neato
Yeah.
stuff. So
Very
very,
cool.
very worth checking out.
All right.
Is that
Well,
soundtrack available anywhere?
yes, I purchased it. I'm not sure
Okay.
from where. Probably Bandcamp. And probably got it on Bandcamp. And I think too he was hinting to some other releases upcoming. But I'm pretty sure it must have been Bandcamp because I have the cover art too, which is usually a Bandcamp thing. So, yes. And you can find us, the show, of course, here on YouTube, usually without music, but the audio podcast, wherever you get your podcasts and
Podcasts.
podcasts. you can get our show, and it'll drop on Friday, hopefully. Just can't imagine why it wouldn't. So all right. Well,
yep, it's another good one. And hey, chat, thanks for the engagement. Nice monster, Elise. And
yes. Oh, it's a deck builder on the surface. It has layers and mysteries. Okay. Yep. Look at that. I'm seeing this now.
Yeah.
Oh, amazing.
Before we went live, we were saying, hey, we should actually try and look at the chat this time.
Try and be better at the chat this time. We're getting better. My other favorite thing is I usually can't figure out how to stop the broadcast, but I think I'm on top of that these days. So yeah, thanks, chat. And we'll be here next